Okay, the next question with the slate on my left is in the miscellaneous category. How would each of you define sustainable development, and what would a sustainable Hastings look like?
I'll take it.
Okay.
Sustainability is something that is thrown around quite a bit, and it's critically important. 40% of the energy used in this country comes from waste due to buildings. And I was at a seminar recently where they were encouraging architects to convince their clients to spend more money to make their buildings energy efficient, to use recycled materials. This all costs more money. I stood up at that meeting and I said, it's a great concept, but nobody wants to spend more money unless they're forced to. What we need to do is revisit our local Hastings code to start requiring new construction and what's considered substantial renovation to comply with current energy codes. New York State, just the other day, released a statement saying that by 2012, I believe, the current New York State energy code will require 30% greater efficiency than it does right now. So we have the force of government behind us to help move this forward. What would a sustainable Hastings look like? I hope it wouldn't look a whole lot different than it does right now, because visually, we don't have to change anything. But under the skin of the buildings that we're designing, we need to be cognizant of how we use our resources. Buildings can be sited to take advantage of the sun in the winter and take advantage of cooling shade in the summer. These are easy things to do, but unless we educate the population about that, they won't necessarily do it.
Thank you.
One of the things that revitalized me personally and made me agree to run for trustee again was my involvement with Climate Action Week last year. And it reminded me that we don't live in a 2 square mile bubble. The problem of sustainability is something that ought to remind us about our connection with broader regions and ecosystems, and our connection with future generations. Sustainability is basically the idea that the way you use your environment today should not degrade it so that your children and their children can't enjoy the same benefit and value in their environment later. Aldo Leopold said that something is right when it respects the biological integrity of an ecosystem, and wrong when it does not. There's all kinds of details that we could go into in terms of how we use energy and how we think about our practices here in Hastings. We ought to think about those, we ought to debate those details, but as a background to it, the concept of sustainability means a sense of connectedness. And it also means that we better be suspicious of our economic ways of valuing things and seeing what is a profit and what is a loss. Because ecological calculations and economic calculations are not the same thing, and we really need to start calculating in ecological terms to see what is of value and what can be maintained and what a profit means. Because right now we think way too narrowly about dollars and cents.
Thank you. Would you like to rebut?
I'd just like to expand a little bit on the concept. Jim did a really nice job of laying out many of the basic concepts involving sustainable construction. But an environmentally sustainable village can also do more. We can have a strong tree replacement policy, which will allow us to replace trees that are taken down during development with trees of equal size. We can negotiate with developers for that. We can also put in requirements. We can put bike paths in the downtown, bike racks in the downtown to make it easier for people to use something other than a car to get to the downtown or to get to parks or other amenities in the village. Also, I won't beat a dead horse, but we have to remember that we can take this as an opportunity to be active participants in the new sustainable technologies as well. We do all of this, we'll be one of the most sustainable places in New York. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to add a couple of more practical steps that we've discussed as a slate. I think that introducing a green building code is an excellent idea, and this is actually something that's very common out west, with both policies and incentives for homeowners who are both renovating their homes or thinking of building new homes, as well as, of course, commercial and retailers who are doing any construction work. Another thought is, of course, to I think Peter mentioned it before, make sure that our village staff and our village buildings are as green as we can get them, turn down those thermostats. And finally, as a planner, I see you can't really talk about sustainability without talking about walkability and getting people out of their cars. And I think promoting more sidewalks, better crosswalks, and better bike paths in this town is absolutely essential to sustainability.
Thank you.